Yeah, uh, as you would think, filming in the middle of the night, as well as, let's say, add 2 feet of snow on top of it, makes it for a hard shoot. What was I thinking? Sam Diggs, and I wanted to talk to you about a little film that I got to work on called Fire. It's about two homeless men that find themselves in a dilemma that basically put them in a huge peril. Well, the film is exactly what the name is. It's fire. I mean, the end project is fire. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the filming, the editing, the whole process, and so forth. Now, granted, I'm going to try to keep this video short because if not, I like to ramble, and this video will end up being like 40 minutes long. And who wants to see her for a 40-minute long video? Not you. This film came to me on my lap about a couple days before the shoot. Well, we're filming in the snow. We're filming in the middle of the winter, and kind of got to work around that, right? So, yeah. At that point, I then go through and figure out what I need to do, get shots, get everything all organized, talk to the DP, talk to the cast, talk to the writer, talk to everybody, and get more inputs. That way I can have a final film and I can see the vision, because I can't pick a film if I can't see the vision. So I see the vision for this. I have everything all lined out, and it comes to the day of the first shoot, which is right before the snowfall itself, and it's just flurry because we want that beautiful flurry look, right? Well, we get in there. It's just three of us first off, because obviously we didn't want to have a lot of people out because it's starting to snow. We don't want anybody on the roads. This is a short, almost no budget project that we got a lot of people, or not a lot, but we got a good bit of people to come through and help with this film itself. So three of us, me, being the DP and the director at that point, the one of the producers and the producer and main actor. So we're out shooting it. We're creating some amazing good stuff. I get home and there's no sound. No sound. I did not capture any sound. Now there is no dialogue, but I captured no sound, no atmosphere, no walking, no cars, no snow falling, nothing. I was like, I can edit my way out of this if I talk once I talk to the editor. So we'll work on that. But anyway, so that night comes and we're gonna film at night. We get everybody together, and let me tell you, it is a testament to the hard work that these people put through to create what they created. I mean, the effort that everyone put in to get the end result that we have is, there's a huge thank you there. Not just on my end, but I'm sure on the writer and the main producer's end as well. So, yeah, it was so lucky to have them. But being in the cold, in snow, in the middle of the night, you freeze. I mean, freeze. I had layers upon layers with hand warmers and warmers stuck all through my clothes and in my shoes. Granted, I was cold. The worst thing was my toes. Like, I had boots and toe warmers, and they just were not working. Like, my feet were just frozen. Like, kind of like the film itself.
Oh, you're sick! You're sick! Why would you do that to me?
We all froze, and it I think also added a layer to the film that probably is seen somewhere along the lines there. So when you get to set, obviously things are going to change, and my whole idea changed. Why? Well, time is one, two, location, and so forth at that point. So there's a lot of stuff that changes. Now, granted, I got to add a lot that I wanted to add, as well as get input from other people, because obviously that's what you want to do as a director, is bring the group together and create a piece. So we really made an amazingly good piece when we were there. And we put someone on the snow. Yeah, we put an actor in the snow. I mean, granted, he was on cardboard and had the hand warmers that just didn't work. And he was in a sleeping bag, but apparently didn't work either. And he was freezing his butt off. Like, I felt terribly bad for him, but he stuck it out and needed to do it for the film itself. Hats off, my guy. But what's the one biggest problem you have when you're filming at night? Not just the snow, add snow on top of it, and it just makes it worse. is lighting. Lighting an entire area where there is no light because we're in the middle of the woods is difficult. You need to light your source, and then you also need to light your background, because if not, you need to add depth. You're just gonna have a black hollow abyss behind you, and that's just boring. You need to add area, add atmosphere. So I got to give it to my lighting and my DP to really create an amazingly good image of what we got, and really made a beautiful looking piece at that point. Hence the reason why he probably won a cinematography award, because he did an amazing job at that point. So yeah, we got some amazing good footage and some good acting, and honestly created an amazing good story. Yeah, we got some good pieces. Well, then it comes the next morning, because now we need to get a morning shot, and I was late to set. I mean, late, because I'm freezing and I wanted sleep, a lot of sleep, and I wanted to be warm, very warm, and I was neither. I was sleep deprived and I was cold. And we were all sleep deprived, to be honest with you, when we get to set. There wasn't a lot of us, there was just a core group of us, and again, amazing good footage we captured. Well, it's done. We have everything all in a can, and the main producer and actor comes to me and says, "Hey, would you like to see about editing this?" And I said, yes. Why? Well, when I'm directing something, I first off love editing it. I love editing in the first place. I love directing. Honestly, I like the whole shebang of film, but directing and editing are my two biggest things, as well as cinematography. But I love editing my own work when it comes to directing. And the reason why is because I know where it's going. Not saying I would not like to have an editor on my project, because I would. I think a director needs to understand editing. And I'm not saying needs to understand the program and where things go and how this happens and so forth, but understand the flow of the edit itself. Where should shots be? Where should shots end? What types of transitions and so forth at that point, and as well as music and sound, because it's crucial for a director to understand. Because if you're on set and there is something that happens and you need to change your course, well, you need to understand the edit and how that's going to flow. Because if not, you just get something just to get something, then you're not going to have a great story at the end of the day. It's really going to show in the editing at that point. So you need to understand editing, I feel, as a director. Now that's neither here nor there, and that's for another video. So I get to edit. I'm in the editing room, put everything together, and I'm like, there's two transitions that we desperately need. Yeah, I can't blame anybody but myself, because we're in the middle. I mean, I honestly can't really blame myself either, but it's middle of the night and we're working one night, really, and we need to get everything we need to get, and well, we didn't. So I contact the main actor and I said, "Hey, there's a shot that we need to get. Would you be available tonight to go get it?" And he said, "Yeah, but there's one issue. I shaved." He had a long beard for the whole thing, and he shaved for another film. Can't blame him. So now I gotta figure out another issue. Again, this is where editing comes in. So I've gotta figure out another way around this. It's just him and I out in the woods, getting this shot, and honestly, it worked out perfect. You would never even know. He had a scarf on, put the scarf over it, and you would never even know that there was no beard, to be honest with you. Just he had a good stubble, so it worked out really well. And using some camera angles and not staying on the shot long really helped itself too. So there are ways around it. Again, editing, can't get around it. But with that being said, there's another shot that I need to get. And I remember watching Macbeth, because this is right around the time when Macbeth came out. And there's a great transition with a crow, and I knew the symbolism and what it meant and so forth. And I was like, that might actually work. So I go get my girl and I said, "Hey, I need your help. I need your help getting a crow to come so I can film it." And she's like, "Okay." And well, she's in film and she understands this all. So again, when I come to her and talk to her about things, she knows it off the top of her head. We get to the park we're at, and I'm like, "We're not gonna get a crow. There's no crow." She's like, "Hold on a second." Pulls up her phone, pulls up a crow noise on her phone, and lo and behold, there's like 4 or 5 of them flying between us. I'm just running out to get my camera, and I finally get the shot, beautiful shot of a crow flying by, and I should never second guess her at all. I should listen to her more often, a lot more often. But anyway, what we came to find out afterward was the video we had in the crow. It was a crow calling and letting other crows know that there's water nearby. That's really cool, and obviously that really helped. Now thinking about it, poor crows. They probably thought that there was water. Oh well. We got the shot, and honestly, it turned out to be beautiful. It was an amazing transition, and it gave me the same meaning, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm editing, and I'm going to sound, and I knew I had an issue, which is the beginning of the film, and there's no sound, and I have to redo all the sound, so yeah. I put my Foley hat on, and I get every single piece of sound that I need to get, from the atmosphere of a city, to cars driving by, to footsteps, to breathing, to a bag, to clothing, to wind, to snow. Literally every single piece I put in there. And I know that this is very typical on bigger films, but when you're just on yourself, and it's a very, very small film, adding that is painstaking. And it was also a really big learning step for me too. So yeah, I mean, when I finished, it was better than if I would have captured the sound there. I mean, way better. And honestly, Foley work does do that for you, and it worked here amazing. And I kind of glad I didn't get the sound now if you think about it. But what would have been if I did get the sound? I don't think it would give me the satisfaction, first off, and I don't think it would really amplify the film where it's at now. And yeah, beautiful. So I play it. Back to that crow. I captured it in 24 frames, and I needed it in slow-mo. When you slow down 24, it's not great. It does not look good, it's choppy. But there's one program that I came to find out called Flow Frames. It takes 24 or it takes 50, and it'll slow it down to almost basically however you want. And it uses AI to do it. And let me tell you, this worked out beautiful. It adds in frames that are never really there, and AI doing it. I mean, AI is really going to be a future thing, and that's for a whole nother topic. But yeah, that worked out great. Flow frames. I could not have asked for something better. So it's done, sort of done. I get the sound all in, music's pretty much there, color's there. I watch it. Not hitting. Something's not right. Well, I went back and I started thinking of a lot of the films that I love and a lot of films I like. And recently, at that point in time, Lighthouse came out a couple years before him, but I remember the film, and I love that film. It's one of my favorites of 2019. And, well, I was like, what if I put this in 4:3 in black and white? Well, let's try. So, put it in 4:3, turn the saturation all the way down, and I watched it over and over and over and over and over again. And every single time I watched it, the more and more I fell in love with it. I mean, the more and more and more I fell in love with it. Because at that point in time, it changed the narrative, it changed the story. You, instead of following two guys, you're following one in his peril, in his dilemma of what's going on in the film, or what's going on in his head, or what he has to do, or what's, between the two. And it really puts you into the character and the story more. And I love that. Obviously, that's what you want. And that was a beautiful thing that I think that I was able to do in the edit that really transitioned this film from, being a okay movie to being a better movie. And just those simple things. Now, granted, doing black and white is a whole nother ball game, but again, I think it worked out really well for this instance. Well, we have the whole project, and it changed a little bit. And what it changed is it changed into something really beautiful. It was, it's like a butterfly. You are a caterpillar, and then you get in your cocoon, you're just a gooey mess, and then you come out to be a beautiful looking butterfly. And that's really what happened here. It was a beautiful piece. And it also added another layer, which was veterans, homeless veterans. And there's a lot of homeless veterans, another big issue. So we hit on a really hot topic, which was really cool, intentional and unintentional. So that was talked about at the beginning, but it amplified itself all the way through the filming as well as into the editing and really made it even better. And honestly, that's just a lovely touch that I like adding. So I now have to show it to a couple of the people that are on the film and the producers, and I have no problem. I I wouldn't care if they told me that this is terrible. That we need to not do black and white. We need to not do 4:3. We need to do regular, and I would have told them to go kick rocks because I thought it was the best thing ever. So I wouldn't have cared at that point in time if my girl hated it. So we watched it, and everyone turned around and loved it. Loved it from the get go. Now there's some things we have to change and so forth. That's neither here nor there. But one of the biggest reactions I got was from the main producer and actor, as he said it was 16 minutes of pure adrenaline. He said that there is no time for you to breathe. And I wanted that. That, to me, in a film, especially being short, obviously you wouldn't want 2 hours of pure adrenaline like that. It would just, you come out feeling exhausted. I don't want you to feel exhausted, but for something like this, going through it and having that excitement with the film and you is what you want to capture, especially in a short. And I think we was able to capture that. And hearing that come from him was a huge, huge thing that I wanted to hear, and I'm so glad to hear it. So where are we at now? Well, we're running in a ton of film festivals, and we got a ton of awards already. We got Best Actor at the Reading Film Festival. Awesome. We have Best Editing and Best Directing, or Best Cinematography. Great. And we got a ton of other awards, and we got some other film festivals that are coming up too. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for this film. I'll make sure I list some of the other film festivals that's coming through. Also check out the website, see if there's any other film festivals so where you can check out this film. And eventually this film may come on the channel, not really sure yet. But also go through and watch the trailer. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you soon. Oh, by the way, also make sure you subscribe and hit the like button and comment as well. Take care.